Even at schools, the kids are learning computer skills from younger age to read and study maths, English are like mandatory. I am quite strict, but it's difficult and challenging to explain a child what should the parent do. And I do encourage my son to read. And sometimes in the name of development, in the name of convenience, actually, convenience, I'm saying, the screen is being widely used for, like for the very young child. I have seen it people use to play like cartoons so that the child eats. And the child is distracted by the screen, not just for food, but actually then the child is being engaged in watching the screen all the times, and all these weirdo looking cartoons, I'm saying, I mean it when I say weirdo. It's a weirdo looking cartoons where the 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 characters are like quacking like a duck or speaking like a cat and making those silly sounds, and parents think, oh, we are so modern and advanced and we are using, this to entertain or sometime educate. But this is something which I would call a health hazard for the kid. I repeat, it is a health hazard for the children. Why? Our eyes are extension of the brain. Should I say the eyes are the visible part of the brain and the brain is the invisible part of our eyes? So when you are watching a screen, the blue light from the screen is hitting your prefrontal brain, also to the neocortex, also to your emotion seat, that is the amygdala. It is also going to affect your moods and behaviors. And that's, in a way, I would say, and I have enough scientific research to back up what I'm saying. It's not just randomly I'm trying to bash the screens and parents who are using the screen to keep their children engaged or even for education. There is enough material which is available. If you Google it, you will find it. That how is it is impacting the children, and along with the type of food which is being given to the kids, it's like, let's say, what's your morning breakfast in people living in UK, Europe, Australia, USA, and these days even our Indians are also matching up to do the same. And the breakfast commonly is a cereal. Cereal means it's made from corn and it has sugar and it has emulsifiers. And to make it more interesting, they put lot of colors into this, which are again artificial. On the top, they use preservatives. On the top, they say, oh, it's so good. Why? Because we added some blueberries into it or apples into it. And well, the apple and the blueberry is not a natural one. Of course, you can't keep a natural in a cardboard box. It's a dried version of the fruit. And that fruit is further treated by chemicals so that it has a longer shelf life. So it's a high content of chemicals in the food, and the artificial colors which are used in many chocolates and in many candies. These all artificial colors are going to be brain damaging. No wonder there is a huge population of kids in America who have ADHD. There are children who have so strong mood swings that they are being fed psychotic drugs. So first you feed them sugar, And processed food, or if it is not cereal, then it would be bread. What's bread? You don't have a natural bread. I believe if you are, you know, a person who loves to eat bread, then please bake it at home. And it should have just three ingredients into that. And that is flour, yeast, and water. That's it. I myself eat bread sometimes, of course, but my bread won't be of white flour. We might mix some potato into that, and the potato starch makes wonderful bread. And when it is like mixed up, you have mixed up the whole ingredients and leave it for overnight. By the morning, it's very well, the yeast has developed into it, and it's a nice, healthy thing to eat. So you bake it like in 40 minutes, the bread is ready. But no, you will take the bread from the shelf of a store. Now, again, what will that bread have? Biggest culprit, white flour, processed flour. Two, they'll have sugar. Three, emulsifiers. Again, milk solids. Then they would have at least two types of preservative to give it a longer shelf life. If you have any bakery, a local small bakery who bake their bread every day, and you can go and pick up your bread from there, which once upon a time everybody used to do it. Everybody had a neighborhood bakery. Please get it. Anything which has been packed in a plastic bag is trash. I can't go more, you know, rough. Anything which is coming in a cardboard box, anything which you need to tear, it's a no-no. So if a child is watching screen, and if his child is eating the sugary white flour and all that crappy chemicals, no wonder children are having very weak eyesight. Glasses. Even your son is wearing it. I remember in my childhood, we were like four section A, B, C, D, and in four sections, maybe, meaning together 120 to 130 girls, maybe one or two girl who is wearing glasses. Otherwise, nobody is wearing glasses. In my college time, I don't remember. Maybe out of 51 again, who is wearing the glasses. The eyesight is weak. Otherwise, nobody is wearing it. Glasses were something which would be used by somebody who is like plus 40. And that would be sign of that, okay, now age-related eyesight weakness is happening. But now children need the glasses. Why? Have you ever wondered? It's the food which we are eating. It's the too much of screen binge watching which is happening. There are these blue light saving screens which are these days coming. I believe it's maybe a bit, will control some damage, but it won't help much. So maybe the school need to think again, just to show that, oh, we are so developed and so modern school, hence we are giving iPads to all the students. It's not, I would say, good for the kids. It's not good for the public health. It is something which all the politicians and educationists and the principals and those who are into this education business, whether government or public or private, they should think really, do we want our kids to have brain damaging stuff happening? Again, what goes in the body will either make the body healthy or will make the body very, very sick. Out of 10, almost 6 to 7 kids have allergies. wheat allergy, nut allergy, this allergy, that allergy, so many. So now they can't eat this, they can't eat that. Have you ever wondered from where did these many allergies came? It's again your food. Overconsumption of sugar, overconsumption of refined oils, overconsumption of the white flour, overconsumption of processed food, and add screen watching to it. So I think so in your PTA, the parent-teacher meetings which are happening in that, this issue should be raised that let's go back to the old system where there were books. In the name of, oh, we want to save the trees. So let's not use papers. Well, if you really, really love your planet and if you really, really love your trees, there are 100 other ways. You cultivate more trees. You grow jungle of trees. But you want to save the tree, but you don't want to save your own kid health. Now, how smart is that? I was reading one story, and that is the husband and wife were having a debate about. Husband was saying we should go digital and paperless. Wife was saying no, we should be in the paper, the old ways. So digital versus the old way. The debate went on, and it went really heating up the environment. And the point came where husband had to go to loo. So husband goes into the loo, and there was no toilet paper inside. So he yelled to the wife, I need paper. She, under the door of the bathroom, she moved his iPad. Use it, digital. He said, give me paper. I said, well, go digital. So I am a very strong advocate that the children should be kept away from the screens. And if they have to, still for their education, use the screen, then every 15 minutes, they should be asked to look at a distance, meaning which is like 20 feet away, 50 feet away at some far off tree or at sky, and you look there for like a minute and trying not to blink at that time. The yogic way is called Tratak. So you look at the distance and then maybe come back to the screen. So every 15 minutes, this break should be made mandatory in every classroom, in every school, in every college. Because if you do this, then your eye muscles get more strengthened. And if we use like the close proximity of watching the screen all the time, this weakens up the rods and the cones of the eye. And it weakens up your eye muscles. And it of course, is going to weaken up the brain also. You know how many people are having weak memories in their 40s and 50s? How many people are losing their important memory? Again, one of the reasons is watching too much screen and eating too much processed. Now, we should make a good choice. People are wise, so they should make good choice. What do they want to be a person who has dementia in their 50s and 60s? If no, then please stop doing four things. I'm saying it again and again, and it's like an anthem which I am repeating it again and again. And the four things: stop. 1, processed food. 2, white flour. 3, white sugar. 4, refined oils. If you don't stop these four things, and you are feeding your kids all these four things in name of convenience, in name of taste, then your child doesn't need any enemy. You yourself are doing the job very nicely. What I am suggesting to most of people that we have to eat something, so why not eat millets? You can make a porridge out of that. You can make a kheer out of that. You can make a poha out of that. You can make a idli out of that, a millet. You can make a dosa. You can make an uttapam. You can make a pulao out of that. You can make what not. A khichdi out of that, a roti out of that, mixed vegetables or lentils or any flour, meaning the flour of say the chana dal. You use the gram flour and you mix it with the millet flour. Wonderful. The children will have a good amount of fiber because if the millets have from 7.5% to almost 13% of fiber is there in the millet. What do children need? Fiber. What do adults need? Fiber. What does our gut bacteria want? Fiber. So have a fibrous food. And if the school is not ready to change, then you can only curtail the timings and bring the books back to the school. Bring the books back. Books are good. Yeah, books are really good. And well, paper can be recycled. We don't have to cut a tree. And every time we can always recycle. Like I really love this system. Like in states, in the public schools, if the sixth standard children who have passed, they move to seventh standard, then the new batch which is going to come, these older students will leave their books for this new batch. So the books get recycled, meaning this year I'm using it, next year somebody else, next year somebody else, next year somebody else. Why can't we share books? Why we have to buy a whole set of new books, which most of the schools in India use this method? Please excuse me for saying it bluntly. Everything should not be about money. And school is not should not be a business model. And the parents should not be milked for money in name of buying the new book set and new book set, buy new copies, buy. Why can't we share? Like I remember in my childhood, um, our aunts would share their clothing, with us. So somebody is elder to me, they use their dress next year, they pass it on. So the other siblings or the cousins will wear it. And lovingly, we would wear it and no drama involved into that. And our parents would say that a dress is a dress and it is as new you feel it. So feel it is new, it is new. Well, maybe it's a very cranky argument, but it worked for us. So we would share our dresses, we would share like our comic books, we would share our stuff with one another. And I remember my mother used to say this, there would be some people in our neighborhood who don't have money enough, to buy their kids the comic books. So our mother used to encourage us to give away our comic books to those friends, right? So it was a nice sharing and bonding which we had. And one thing, because we are talking about children, one thing which I would like to add is that after school and after doing our homework, thank God there was no mad rush of television channels and OTT and all that stuff. So our mothers would kick us out, go and play. And we were so ready to. So we had these hundreds of games which we are playing, running around, jumping around, going to garden, going for stroll, playing cricket, playing badminton, so many things. And then we are all tired and exhausted and we would eat our dinner and hit the bed. Right? All the anger, which sometimes any person, any kid can have, so that anger is getting a good release while playing. Physically, you are active. Now the kids are sitting on the sofa whole day, When it is a chutti, holiday, the whole day they are on the sofa watching television. And mom, give me this, mom, give me that. And moms are so ready and so nice. They say, child, order from, the home delivery systems. Okay, whatever you like, you. She doesn't want to spare a time to cook a hot meal for the kid. Although I am again not that mothers alone should cook. Yes, fathers also can, and the grannies, granddad, grandmom, if there are there in your house, anybody. But a child should be always served a hot meal. These days, kids say, "What's the options?" I heard, 8-year-old boy saying to mom, "Mom, what's the option for the dinner?" And mom is going crazy. Chinese, Italian, Thai, Indian, this, that, sandwich, falana, dimkana. In our times, we wouldn't even dare to say what's the option because jutti, roti. Either mom's slipper or chapati, the roti. What do you want? Or roti or soti? A stick or a roti, the bread. What do you want? So we wouldn't even dare to say, what's the option? No, no. Whatever is there, eat. I don't remember in my childhood ever saying to my mom, it's not good, I want something else. No choices. And it was good, the TV was for a very limited time, meaning from the Doordarshan, for a very limited time. In those days, I think so, 3 hours, that's it. 3 hours, and that's it, no choice. And I believe kids of that generation, much smarter, much intelligent, much healthy. But well, if you're eating pature and puri and paranthe all the time, well, you won't be healthy anymore then. So I believe there should be like a very limited screen time. I remember one South Indian gentleman, I am saying an Indian from southern part of India. He made this rule in his home that if you want to watch TV, then you have to sit on the floor cross-legged, not on a sofa. So he had 3 kids. They said, Dad, we want to watch TV. Okay, sit on the ground. Sit cross-legged. Spine should be straight. Now watch. How long will they watch? Make a wild guess. And in almost half an hour or so, okay, Dad, it's time to sleep. Go to bed. That was his way to discipline. And please excuse my word, all the crappy stuff which is there on the TV these days, not good. They aren't teaching Bhagavad Gita and Upanishad in the television shows. They are not teaching that. They are having children's reality shows where a young girl of 6, 7 year old is dancing and doing the pelvic thrust, vulgar. And she's being judged with other children of her age who are doing these romantic and sensuous songs. And the whole family is sitting and watching and clapping and hoping that their child wins the award. How brutal for quick money or fame. They have just totally lost it. Can you imagine 6-year-old girl is doing a sensuous song, a vulgar song, and the TV channels and the judges are sitting and watching and giving them how many marks should we give. And it is a shame, I would say, shame in block, capital letters. But the thing is, parents are consuming this kind of material. What to say? I'm all for children dancing and learning to dance. I'm all for children going into learning music or any art form. But please let it be art, not a crappy, trashy, stuff. We need to watch it. We need to. And that's why, in this ashram, I have small kids, 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old, 6 years old. They come to me after learning by heart, say, Mahishasur Mardani Stotra, or Chaupai Sahib, or some Gurbani Shabad, or some Krishna Stotra, or Nirvan Shatkam, or Panchakshri Mantra of Shiva. They come prepared. They have given time, 1 week, 2 week, whatever, and then they recite, chant it over here, and I make sure that they are recorded. And I make sure that this video is shared on my channel, on my YouTube channel, on my Instagram, and on my Facebook, wherever. Because this will inspire so many other hundreds and thousands of kids who are going to work learning the beautiful language of Sanskrit, learning beautiful Gurbani. And of course, today they might not understand the essence of what they are repeating or chanting, but very soon they'll be old enough and they'll be asking. And then the teacher, the mom, the dad, or the granny, they will teach what it means. So that's one of my way to promote our beautiful text, our Gurbani, our Sanskrit chants and sutras and mantras. And mind you, those who do this, I have found this that very conclusively I'm seeing them as they are growing, they are more intelligent. Because it's difficult for that. When 3 years old is singing me Mahishasur Mardani, and then the jaws drop when this little girl is doing it. The 4 years and the 5 years, and they're doing it. And my sole objective, is that the children should be exposed to these kind of, what you say, oh, it's difficult. Well, this difficult challenge is going to help the child's brain to grow. Make him more smarter, make her more smarter and intelligent. Don't you want your kid to be that? So these things are like very important. And what I'm saying about usage of computers in the schools should think over. The kids can type a letter, email me, but when I ask them to write down a letter, their handwriting is so bad. It's, you say, what is that? So nobody is writing. Nobody is writing. And now with the digital signatures coming, a day would come, nobody would do their signatures also, because that will be digital. Or maybe, through the eye, the scanning is done, or the thumb impression scanning is done. So are we getting more educated, or are we moving towards, in long ago, the illiterate person would use the thumb impression, right? Can't read, can't write, so angutha chap. Put. And now all corporate buildings are nothing wrong. It's great system, but even if you go US, you go England, and they are taking your thumb impressions. They have their own reasons. But I believe making kids write calligraphically, that again enhances the hand and brain relationship. It's very important. It's a craft. It's a craft to write beautiful, nice. Now they choose it, what kind of font you want. Now they don't know how to write. Are we becoming more educated, or are we regressing? Well, that's my opinion. And there are great minds who are working in the education departments. So please don't be offended by my views, but that's my views. If it works for you. And I have backing of the scientific research papers who are saying usage of screen is damaging the very gentle and sensitive brains of kids. Do not use it. Do not use it. They are prohibiting it. There is a very famous psychiatrist in California, Dr. Daniel Amen. He did a wonderful work. Last 25 years, he's working with the human brains, and he has zeroed down on to many things. And one of the thing is kids should be kept away from screens, and kids should not be fed sugar, and kids should be made to play games and the sports which are outside. And he was totally against playing boxing or rugby. He said you are hitting the brain and you can damage it. And later on in the adulthood, the person can have many challenges. Well, he's a doctor, he's a researcher. So when he says something, we need to listen what he's saying. Do you get what I am saying? You'll follow that, what I've said? Yeah, you're a smart boy.